Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. I am your co-host, Mr. Stephen Boster, along with the one, the only Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land.
All right, we got a splendorific show for you today, guys, because we have a special guest with us, the one, the only Mr. Sagepageomega. Sage, hey, say hey to everybody.
Hello.
Good morning, Sage.
Good morning.
Welcome to Two Geeks and a Microphone, sir.
We
Thank
are
you.
pumped to have you. So just so everybody knows, Sagepageomega has been just an avid supporter and fan here at Two Geeks. He is actually normally on Twitch. Here, I'm going to put up your thing here. This is his site, www.twitch.tv/Sagepageomega.
Oh, look at that. Steven's got it together this morning.
I'm working on it.
Pretty good for somebody who woke up late.
Right, and only got like less than 5 hours sleep. All right.
Well, our guest probably has had less sleep than you, actually.
That's right. That's right. You work nights, right?
Well, I'm actually on vacation right now, but I did stay up to like 11:40ish last night doing some stuff, and I woke up early this morning. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you getting up early for the show.
Yep.
Oh, not a problem. I couldn't sleep. I was excited. So
wow, it's great to have you with us. So.
Thank you.
Sage, for those that may not know you, and I'm going to put up here on the screen, I'm going to put your website again. Tell us a little bit about your Twitch channel and what you do.
So I'm mostly a video game player, but my channel is all about positivity, all about, doing better, being better, evolving on the daily, just trying to bring out the best versions of ourselves on a day-to-day basis. So literally the best part of today is the worst part of tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Evolving from that aspect.
I like
that. So that's
that.
what my name actually stands for. The Sage part stands for seeking adventure, gaining experience. So we're leveling, we're growing, we're evolving. And the Page part is us leaving our mark on the world for future generations. So like the blueprint of better. And that's literally all it is. So
I love it. Jinx, double jinx, padlock. No, I'm just kidding.
Jinx, show me a Coke.
Oh, man.
That's awesome. I really like the idea of the positivity behind your show. We try to be positive on our show. I think you've
except when it comes to the sequel trilogy.
Yeah. Okay, the sequel trilogy gets a lot of hate on this show, but
there was nothing positive about those. I get it. No. Well, no, I mean, you're gonna have some negative. You're gonna have things, and that's the whole point of it. Like, we're always gonna have flaws, but if we don't take the time to at least learn and evolve from them, then what are we doing?
Agreed.
So I completely get it, and that's the whole part of the journey that I wanted to show towards people, that you don't have to be this level of perfection or whatever. You can be just a normal person going through this. So that's the whole point of it. So
nice. Those are good words. I like it. That's awesome.
I love it. Well, I love having you here with us. I know Mike is excited about you being with us. We are both thrilled that you could join us to talk about. Well, should I give our topic for the day? Or it's already in the notes anyway.
Let's get some housekeeping out of the way first. Yeah, it's all right. If they've seen the title of our show, they know
we're talking Sandman.
We're talking Sandman. Yes. I'm excited about this. This is going to be a good topic. But I think you got a sponsor to talk about, Steve.
I am so excited, everybody. If you have not heard yet, here at Two Geeks, we are now have a sponsorship with Audible. Please, it's so exciting. I love Audible, everybody. I've been using Audible for several years. I actually have over 140 titles in my Audible library because I love it. So if you go to the website, www.audibletrial.com/2geeks. So Audible, AAUDIBLE trial, TRIAL.com/2geeks, TWOGEEKS.
We actually spelled it out this time.
Right. Here's the cool thing. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. So what that means is, as an Audible member, you get to get one title a month to keep from the entire catalog. So there's no like blackout dates or blackout titles or anything like that. It includes latest bestsellers, new releases, any of those. So when you sign up, you can get your first month for free. So you get to download your own one free title, whatever that is. You get to choose, you get to pick it. It's not like, oh, here's a free trial and you can only pick from 5 titles. It's not like that. You can pick from anything off the catalog. The other thing I love about Audible is it was just over a year ago they started introducing what they call their Audible Plus, and they've got tons of other audiobooks that you can get for free as part of being a member. And so if you're a member, it's $15, it's $14.95 a month. You get one credits per month, so that one title per month. But still as a member, you can pick from all these other titles. Like we're talking classics, just all kinds of different ones. The one I want to talk about, and I'm going to show this with everybody. I'm going to share the screen, see if this works. I'm going to share the screen and show you one right here. Here we go. My favorite audiobook is I have William Shakespeare's The Jedi Doth Return. And now, but Mike said, oh no, you need to talk about William Shakespeare's Star Wars. Just start off with that one. It's like listening to the movie but done in Shakespearean prose style, the whole bit. And, Ian Deshler is the author. We've had him on the show.
Yes, we have.
And he is a hoot. He's really nice. And we had a great time with him. And so I just want to encourage everybody, if you get a chance, please check out our site, audibletrial.com/2geeks, just to do your free trial, at least to get one free audiobook. And it's going to be, you're going to enjoy it. I love it. And it's, they do all kinds of deals for members all through the year. Like you can buy 3 credits at a certain price, or, hey, we've got a 2-for-1 special that we do. So it is just a fabulous opportunity. So that's at audibletrial.com/2geeks. And if you do, you'll be helping out the show as well. So I'm going to stop sharing and there we go. So yeah. And if you have any questions about it, just email me at show@2geeksmike.com. That is with the number 2 actually, but show@2geeksmike.com. And then you can just ask me questions and I'll be glad to tell you about the Audible trial. Just go to that website. It'll give you everything that you need to know.
Awesome. All right. Well, with that said, we'll move into the geeky news. It's the only sounder I got for our news, so it seems to be working. So we're gonna play with that for a while.
Just for the record, everybody, Mike got tired of me going. Yeah,
I did. It was annoying.
Trying to do the news ticker. You know how I know that, everybody? It's because he has a sounder the next day.
That was funny. True, but it was funny. Okay, so first up in our geeky news, this is from Screen Rant. Henry Cavill's Superman return plans on hold amid the DC studio changes. So, basically they're saying that don't be holding your breath right away for a Man of Steel 2. Henry Cavill's Superman Returns has slowed down as what could be Man of Steel 2 appears to be on hold as James Gunn and Peter Safran figure out the DC Universe future. DC fans were treated to a surprise last month when Henry Cavill returned to Superman in the Black Adam post-credit scene. Sorry, spoiler alert.
Whoops.
I don't think this is anything to worry about, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, I wasn't expecting Man of Steel to come out tomorrow. You know, I think we're going to get it, but I think obviously they've got smaller ideas to bring Man of Steel in. You know, like I think he's going to show up possibly in the Shazam movie. I think he's possibly going to show up in the Flash movie. You know, and they're going to want to reintroduce him in those smaller little, you know, segments before they give him a big, huge role. But it's coming. I mean, James Gunn has already said Superman is on the number one slot of their most important things.
Oh, okay.
So it's coming. I don't think this is too much to worry about. But I thought it was an interesting headline, so I wanted to share that. Next up is Black Panther Wakanda Forever passes 400 million at the global box office in less than a week. This is from Collider. So Disney and Marvel's Black Panther Wakanda Forever has passed 400 million mark at the global box office after just 6 days of release, barring a handful of territories that opened a couple days earlier. This is really interesting because today is also the anniversary of when Star Wars, the original Star Wars, surpassed Jaws as the highest box office
grossing.
Yeah, whoa! So it's kind of appropriate that this news came up. I thought that was kind of cool. Ties in with some Star Wars news. And then the final headline I have is Chris Hemsworth feels, and this again is from Collider. Chris Hemsworth feels the next Thor movie may be his last one. I could see that happening. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. has stepped down as Iron Man. The other Chris has stepped down as Captain America. Yeah, why wouldn't it happen? You know, I don't know what the future of Marvel is right now. I don't.
Right. In what way? What do you mean?
I mean, are they going to survive losing all these characters that they've built up for over the last decade? Is their box office numbers going to continue to rise? I know I just said Black Panther did great, but is the rest of Marvel going to be able to keep that momentum? I don't know.
That's an interesting question. Sage, what do you think?
I think yes, if they continue to do it right. They have potential with the Falcon. They have potential with the whole Bucky Barnes background. Wanda, Vision, the whole aspect with that. Loki and how they did that sparked a lot of interest. And then obviously the entering of Kang coming into the MCU. They have a lot of potential with it. And realistically, we knew the original 6 were going to have to go anyhow with Secret Wars and everything else coming out. So I think they can survive it. It depends on how they really do it. If they do it like they did Falcon and all them, then yes. But otherwise, I don't know. But I think they have a good chance. It's just
I think I equate it to we have the golden years, if that makes sense.
I like that actually.
And now we're hitting the the silver age, if you know what I'm saying. I think they've had a great peak. It was great. Most products from a product life cycle is 7 to 10 years. And I'm thinking, okay, so I think they've had a great run. I am going in with the Marvel movies, really this next phase, the Kang story, the storyline. Even though I'm not a fan of multiverse, and this is not the place for that time.
We drag him into the multiverse, kicking and screaming.
That's right. But I am interested in the changing of the guard. I am interested, because Hawkeye was, Jeremy Renner's, Hawkeye passing on the bow to, Kate Bishop, having that kind of a situation. The next generation. I'm interested in seeing how they do all that, how they tie stuff together. And I'm willing to give it a shot, but I don't think it will be, I don't have the expectation of it being as good as the Golden Years, if that makes sense.
I think I agree with you, actually. I mean, I have some excitement about the next phase. There's some things that I'm really looking for, especially Secret Wars, the possibility of the symbiote suit coming to Spider-Man. I want to see that happen. But that's more, to me, that more falls into the Spider-Verse, realm of things and less into the MCU side of it.
Right.
I don't know. Could we possibly be seeing a slight dip in the Marvel years and maybe an upcoming rise in the DC years, which I kind of want to happen?
Yeah. I think so. Sage, what were you going to say something?
Well, I think yes, only because Marvel, when they came out with the movies, they came out with the hitters that we know, that everybody, the stories that we all know about. With DC, they're kind of rebuilding, and they're bringing out the characters that we know now at the end of Marvel's already recognized people. So Marvel's got phase 2 with these people that no one really knows about. So it makes sense that the shift's going to kind of switch over to DC. But I honestly think, though, if Marvel builds it up like, hey, this may not be Iron Man, but this person that we have is just as powerful, just as dynamic, just as ridiculous, then I think they can kind of keep that shift on their side. It really depends. I mean, I'm a hopeful fan of Marvel. Not that I don't like DC. I'm really a hopeful fan of Marvel, and I really think of, it's based on how they really push it. If they keep going with the Falcon aspect and how they did that series, and so forth, I think they have a really good chance. But if they differ, like they did with some of the other movies recently, it's not going to look so good. So,
all right, that's good. I like that. Hopeful Marvel.
I like that.
Hopeful Marvel fan. I'm so going to quote you on that. I like that. I like it a lot.
I told you he was going to bring some class to the show.
Right.
All right.
Right on.
So that's all I got for the news. We ready to move on to Geekdar?
One last thing about Chris Hemsworth that I alluded to. Sure. I had some words to say. I'm going to take 30 seconds. Here we go. I do not at all like how they've taken Thor, a mighty Nordic mythological god, and made him campy. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And so that's why I'm like, yeah, Chris, I can see how you were like, yeah, I'm kind of done. I'm done with Thor, because they've dumbed him down rather than being powerful and mighty. Gosh, what's the word I'm trying to say? Mighty Thor.
Well, I think he's still powerful.
He is.
There is no doubt that he's powerful. It's just,
well, they made him dumb.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I didn't like. Anyway, that's it. That's why I see where he's like there, and I hope they bring Thor, whatever they do next with Thor, however they do it, they make them, because if you go back, do what?
I don't know where they'll go with him at this point.
If they pass off the mantle or whatever they do, I don't know. But if you go back and watch Captain America, or not Captain America, there was the whole scene where they have Loki and they're in the ship, and Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow is like, I wouldn't mess with him, Cap. I'd sit this one out, Cap. These men are like gods. That's a great. There's only one God, ma'am, and I'm sure he doesn't wear tights. No, I'm just kidding. So but you watch.
Oh, that's one of my favorite lines, by the way.
Oh,
in fact, I've got a T-shirt from Geek with the Bible that says, "There's only one God, ma'am."
I love it. So that if you watch Thor in that depiction, that is Thor, and then you go to see where Thor's at today, you see a totally difference in the style of character and stuff. So that's what my excuse, my reason, my rationale, my thought process on why I think Chris is like, yeah, I think I'm done. Not only just with Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, with them changing they are the kind of trifecta of the story, especially in the Avengers Endgame and stuff. So anyway, that's my thoughts. I took more than a minute. Sorry, everybody.
No problem. All right. Moving right along. All right.
Well, you don't need that, Private. We're right here. Now, what is it? Now, what is it? I'm having trouble with the radar, sir. What's wrong with it? I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps. The what? The what? And the what? You know, the bleeps. Sweeps. And the creeps. That's not all he's lost.
That's for sure.
I love that movie. I
do too. It's so fantastic.
I don't think we've done a podcast on that movie. Why have we not done an episode on Spaceballs?
Because it's like 40 years old.
That's all been Galaxy Quest.
Well, yeah. Oh. We gotta do a November classic sci-fi too. We haven't come up with a November one yet,
right?
And we're quickly running out of November.
We're quickly running out of November for everybody. Wah, wah.
So for Ko-fi subscribers, sorry. Say sorry.
It's okay.
All right, what's on everyone's Geekdar this morning?
Well, I'll go first. I don't have much. It's been a kind of a crazy week, as every week has been lately. But so my two boys are up from Kansas City, and their plane came in late last night, and so it got delayed while they were in Salt Lake, and so they got delayed. So we were at home watching the flight when it was going to land and that kind of a thing. So we decided to pop in a movie, and on Peacock, the movie Nope is on there. Nope.
That's on Peacock?
It's on Peacock.
We gotta watch that.
They just released it Friday. So Troy, my youngest stepson, put it in, and we were sitting there watching it, and he goes, this is great. I'm going to crack up saying it. He goes, this part's boring. Let's just get to the alien stuff. I'm going to do a Steven skip.
I love that.
So he starts skipping. He starts skipping through the movie, to go, okay, we can pass this part. Oh, here, this looks like a part. So he stopped it. So it was pretty funny. So we have not finished it. What'd you say, Megan?
I said you're teaching him.
That's right. The importance of Steven Skip.
That's hilarious.
So anyway, we haven't finished yet, but I am intrigued by the story. It's a slow burn in the first half because it's setting up the suspense, and I think that's Jordan Peele's style. I'm pretty sure he's the one doing it. I think that's his kind of a style, and then the second half really, But they've introduced that something's going on here, and it's really weird. So yeah.
Yes, Jordan Peele directed.
Okay. Thanks, Megan. Yeah. So
thank you, Tito.
Right.
Yeah. When we saw Black Adam, they had the trailer for Nope, and the whole time Brenda's going, nope, nope, nope.
Right. And that's the premise behind it. They're like, yeah. And the first time he says it, the one actor, he says, nope. I'm like, that makes sense now why they named it that.
Yeah, Megan and I are going, that actually looks kind of good. Yep.
And now it's on Peacock. So I'm just telling you, it's kind of a slow burn at the beginning, but it's setting up little suspense stuff all the way through. And it is intriguing. So
it is worth it in the end.
I'm halfway through and I want to finish it. So yeah, that should tell you something.
You're halfway through. Well, of course you had to go get.
I had to go pick up the boys. So
that's reasonable. That's understandable.
And that was about 12:30, 1 o'clock this morning.
Sure. Yeah, that's. Dude, I wouldn't have been. I would have been.
Right. Right.
Of course, you can ask Megan. Sometimes 8 o'clock at night, we're watching a movie, and she's going, "Dad, Dad,
wake up,
wake up." Oh, yeah.
All right.
Leave me alone. I'm tired.
Sage,
All
what's
right.
on your Geekdar?
Just the latest game I've been playing, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. It's got the nostalgias of the games of the past that I used to play. It just released a hardcore mode, the Warzone Battle Royale, which is also amazing as well. It has proximity chat where you can hear the enemies right next to you if you're in the radius around them. It's just
that would be
it's
scary.
Fun.
That would
fun.
be scary.
It makes for some interesting gameplay and trying to sneak around, but they can hear everything you do. It's pretty hilarious. The game itself is overall fun, though. I love it.
One of my favorite YouTube channels is Viva La Dirt League. And
Watch this.
oh gosh, if you play games, I mean, they're so good. They're so funny. Their most recent episode from Friday was about having headphones and playing with headphones, and they were making fun of this one guy who has not been playing with headphones. He's been playing with the integrated speakers in his TV. Rather, and then he actually puts on headphones, and the world changes and have that directional ability and stuff.
Nice.
So, Sage, what do you like best about the new Call of Duty?
I like that for the most part, it's as real as a person like me is going to get to the whole shooting a gun real aspect and all of that. They take in wind account, they take in variation, they take in a lot of things, and this one. Wow. This one really falls into the format of you have to play with your team. So you have to trust the people that you're playing with to make, and I love that. I'm all about team, multiplayer style games and playing with people. And yeah, I love this aspect of it. And just the gameplay of it, the graphics are beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Nice. They are
see
gorgeous.
Where we started at back in the day with the Sega Saturns and the Ataris and the Commodore 64 and all that to now, it's remarkable. I love it. I love every aspect of the game.
Is there a medic class? Or
no, not really. I mean, you can play as that where you just run around with stims and heal people all day, but it's
who wants to do that?
Exactly.
Listen, when I played Battlefield,
people, man.
when I was playing Battlefield 2 years ago with a friend of mine, I was a medic, and let me tell you, I was darn good because here's the deal: I would be top of the leaderboards, not for kills, but for revives.
I mean, technically, you could do that in this. You can build yourself what. I guess the closest would be a sniper class. So, you're creeping around, crawling through the mountains, do what you got to do. Your teammate gets down. You can sneak up, try to revive them. I mean, so there is a way to play as that. But
right?
For the most part, you're surrounded, survive, good luck.
Let me ask you this. Is it worth the $70, $80 price tag?
Normally, I would say no. Every Call of Duty that's come up prior, I think over $60 is just not worth it. Wow. However, I did get this one at the $99 value because there's two editions. There's a standard and the Vault edition. I did get the edition. I did get the Vault edition. So you get extra characters, you get additional levels, you get like this pack of things on top of the actual game content. I will say it was absolutely worth it. Even if you just get the $79 version, it's worth it. Only because as a fan of this franchise, I love the fact that it brings me to the time frame of wanting to play this franchise again. Because I was getting bored with it. I was getting tired of it. I was getting tired of them not really listening to the fans. It fell off, from where I used to start to now. And it's amazing. It brought me back to loving this franchise, loving playing with my friends, coming home from work and like, I got to get on the game, to wanting to grind my weapons out, to get specialized camos. Like it gives me that feel. And I love every aspect of it.
Nice.
One of the things that you said before we went on the show, because I was asking you about it, because my youngest stepson and my oldest stepson both have the game. And they were playing.
And they're both gamers too, aren't they?
Yeah, and my youngest wanted me to get it. Is there crossplay? There's crossplay with it?
There is crossplay, all platforms, from my understanding. I know the three main ones of Xbox, PlayStation, and
okay.
computer. But if I'm not mistaken, Switch and all the other ones can play. I'm not entirely sure.
I've got a PlayStation. They have Xbox. So.
Yeah, you guys can cross-platform it, and it's amazing. As a matter of fact, the Call of Duty prior to this is the one that I met a few people, Contagious and her husband on, and I've been friends with them ever since. And this brings me back to when I first met them. So that's another reason why I love it, because it gives me that memory, man. Like it's awesome.
Yeah, okay.
Just so everyone knows, Contagious Punk is another Twitch streamer,
friend of the show.
She's a friend of the show, also supporter of the show too. She's, in fact, it's because of her that we met Sage, so we have her to thank for that. So Contagious Punk is awesome. Check out her Twitch stream also. So is that what you're currently playing, Sage, on your stream?
That's majority of my content right now. Okay. One, because it's the most popular game, and two, because I can't put it down. But I do play a variety of games. I play games from Diablo, which is RPG style, to Sea of Thieves, adventure-esque first person, to even strategy style games. I like to mix it up, for those who, don't usually get the spotlight shown on them. I like to say, hey, I'm here for you as well. So this way you can see different aspects of it as well. So.
I'm just going to say go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say, I used to play Diablo on PC years ago. It's been a long, long time.
That's actually where I started with the whole Omega aspect and everything. Like, I mean, I've played video games prior to that. Don't get me wrong. But my brother, he was in the military and stuff. When he would come home, we'd play Diablo. I'd watch him play Diablo for hours, and I loved that. And that's honestly what really kicked me off and wanting to be like, that's it, that's what I want to do. I want to play games. That's it. So that was years ago.
Well, I was gonna put it this way, everybody. If you get on this Twitch channel and watch him, or just watch some of his previous streams, dude, you are good. You are really good. I have enjoyed watching. I'm like, I'll put it to you this way. If we were playing side by side, he would probably have 439 kills to my 1 kill in a 10-minute episode. So
I'd already be the dead one. So
no, I get lucky. As I stated earlier, 90% of the time it's me trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing, and when I get that one little lucky nugget, I try to repeat it. So that's
dude, my nephews are gamers. They're all into games and stuff, and several years back, one of them was like, "Hey, Uncle Michael, come play not Call of Duty, the one where they all wearing the big armor."
Halo.
Yeah, Halo. Come play Halo with us. All right. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, we'll show you. And here I am. I'm just trying to walk, and they're just blowing me away. And I'm going, what just happened here? What?
In those games, there's actually an aspect, and I always recommend people give it a shot. Even if you don't play the multiplayer aspect, most of those games, Halo, Call of Duty, they have a wonderful campaign, which I love the story of the game. A lot of people who play those games, they only care about the multiplayer. I love the story. I'm
all about campaigns.
Yeah, and it's awesome. And it's set up to where no matter if you have no skill or a ton of skill, it's adjusted accordingly, and I recommend doing it, man. It's so much fun. And it's a release. It's a release too.
Oh yeah. Well, years ago I played Force Unleashed, which is an amazing Star Wars.
Phenomenal game. I love those games.
And I absolutely love the story of that too. And I was just like, why don't they make this into a movie, man? This needs to be a movie.
Right.
So yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm just saying it now. Sage, we want you back so we can just talk all kinds of streaming and games and stuff. I think you can give us some great insights.
Anytime you guys want me, just say the word. I'm here for you.
I think you could be our official Two Geeks video game reviewer.
I love it.
I'm saying it right now.
Thank you, guys. I would be honored. Thank you.
That'd be great. Okay, well, we're already 34 minutes.
Yeah, I know, and I haven't got to my geek talk.
It's an hour-long show, everybody. Sorry.
We'll probably go a little over today.
We're geeking out.
Wait till next week. Wait till we get Chris on next week, and then we have a second episode next week with Theron. So we're going to make up for our Wakanda that we missed a couple weeks ago. So on my Geekdar, first off, I watched the first couple episodes of the season 4 of Titans. Whoa, I really like what I'm seeing so far. Oh my gosh. Just a little spoiler alert. If you don't want to know anything going in, but the big bad is being established as Brother Blood. And me being a classic Titans fan from the 80s, Brother Blood was a major storyline in the 80s that I loved. And this is fantastic. You can take your ears out of your fingers.
Oh, okay. All right.
You can take your ears out of your fingers, Steve.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Because I'm only like half an hour into the first episode.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. I'm loving what I've seen so far.
Good.
And I am looking forward to the rest of this season.
All right. So we're going to do a nice review on season 4. Okay.
Heck yeah.
Sweet.
So then the other thing, I finally started listening to the Batman Audio Adventures. It's kind of a podcast. I like my podcasts.
Right.
I'm kind of partial to podcasts. But there's actually 2 seasons of the Batman Audio Adventures. You can get them on HBO Max. You can also just download them on your favorite podcatcher of choice. In fact, I've been listening to them on my iCatcher on my iPhone at work yesterday. They're a lot of fun. The cool thing about this is the voice of Batman is Jeffrey Wright, who played Lieutenant Gordon in The Batman. And that blew me away. I was like, wow. And he does a pretty good job. I mean, he's
interesting.
No Kevin Conroy. Nobody is Kevin Conroy. But I really like what I hear of him. I think he's done a really good job. The other little surprise was Catwoman is played, and I could hear it. I actually could hear it in her voice. But it was Catwoman was played by Rosario Dawson, which is Tana from the Star Wars stuff on Disney. And a little shout out for, I don't know the actor, but the guy who's voicing Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin, is phenomenal. I love him. And it's Bobby Monea. I can't pronounce his last name. Not sure what else he's been in, but I really like him as the Penguin. He's done a good job. So I would highly recommend the Batman Audio Adventures. They're fun. There is a comic book that is going along with it too. I've got the first 2 issues of the comic book.
Whoa. Okay.
I thought it was neat that they put out a companion comic book to go along with these.
Very cool.
All right. So that is my Geekdar for today.
Right on. Yay.
Awesome.
Oh, 3 Geeky Dads is in the house. Look out,
awesome.
Everybody. We're in trouble. All right. Are we ready for the main event?
The main event.
Now that we're 38 minutes in.
Let's get ready. Oh, sorry. Can't say that.
I know. We'll get copyright strike. Not that we're really... Well, we do have an audible.
Well, at least I didn't mention The Rock. Oh, whoops. I did.
We just lost 80 seconds of our audio on Facebook.
In 72 different
72 different countries.
Well, Shazam.
Okay. Shazam. Or as Mork from Mork would say, Shazbot.
Great. All right. Now, everybody, we're here to talk Sandman. Yes. And the Netflix show, and written by, the story, original comic book written by Neil Gaiman, one of our master storytellers living today. He's written a lot of books, a lot of stuff that one of my favorite movies, Stardust, was written by Neil Gaiman. So that's the old Charlie Cox movie before he was a Daredevil kind of a thing. So
okay.
It's an old film. Michelle Pfeiffer is in it and does a really good job. So anyway, sorry, Neil Gaiman. So the Sandman, anybody want to give kind of a overview of we need an overview of kind of the story of Sandman. Yeah, let's do the overview before I start going into a review session here. Are we going to do like our overall review first, Mike? Do you want to do that? Like what we want to score it as?
Yeah. Let's start off with the overall review.
Ooh.
I'll start this off. So I had never read the Sandman. You know, I've obviously known about the character for years. It was just an aspect of DC that I didn't always get into. So
Vertigo, was it Vertigo? DC Vertigo?
That's I was trying to think of what that was last night. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's part of the Vertigo portion of the DC comic industry. It's just not something I really got into. But when you and I discussed the Sandman a little bit, and I was like, okay, maybe I should check this show out. I watched the first like 2 episodes. I was hooked, honestly. I thought the story was really good. I love the character of Sandman, or Dream, as he's referred to a lot in the series. I really found that character interesting. And the funny thing is, I started watching this right around the time that Andor was starting. And, you know, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And I was bored out of my mind with Andor.
Review coming next week, everybody.
Yes, review coming with none other than one of our favorites, Chris Mott. Chris Mott will be joining us from Mocktails from the Cantina. And he loves Andor, so I can't wait to talk to him about this. Anyway, I watched this, and I was like, wow, I think Star Wars could learn a lesson about storytelling here.
Oh, okay.
Because I was much more intrigued. It was much more better.
Much more better. Nice. Well done, Mike.
In my opinion, anyway. So overall, I really enjoy this series. I think it's a very enjoyable series. Some really cool aspects. Just real quick, I really like the character Death. I loved her. I think she's my favorite character in the entire series.
Okay, we'll talk about that episode then. I'd love to talk about that episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. Okay.
Definitely. Got to buy my underwear. Definitely. Got to get them at Kmart. Wapner's on 4. Sorry.
I'm a good driver.
Well, I'm an excellent driver. Sorry.
Okay, so how do you want to score it, and out of how many?
Oh, you know, I didn't even think about that. How about crows?
Do you want to do crows? I like it.
That's
crows. Fitting.
How about, what do you think,
Sage?
Steve?
What's your?
I was, because of Dream and everything, I was going to say Sands of Time, but I like crows though.
Okay. No, we can go with that too.
Let's do that one. We'll do it. Okay. So how many? What's
hourglasses?
We could, or like the max 10 sands of time. So out of 10 sands of time,
go for it.
So I would actually give this probably an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Really enjoyable series. There was really only one episode that I was kind of like, that was a little iffy. Everything else I thought was enjoyable. There wasn't really a moment that I wanted to Steven skip through this. Of course, I'm not usually one to Steven skip, unless of course it's Andor. I'm gonna get my jabs in on Andor right now while Chris isn't here, because I don't want to make Chris mad when he's here.
Save it for the podcast.
All right, so yeah, I'll give it 8 out of 10.
Okay, all right, Sage.
I'm a solid 10 out of 10 on this one.
Wow.
I walked in completely blind, not knowing anything with it, and I could not. I literally binge watched the entire series in one day, and then went back to over it again because I wanted to really engulf it. Like, I love this. I love this
one
a lot.
Day.
I started it at work. And this is bad, but I started it at work while I was working, and I just went through. Got home from work and continued.
We won't
watching
tell anyone that you started at work.
That's just. But I absolutely loved it. It was phenomenal.
Wow. So 10 out of 10 Sands
I give
of
it a
Time.
solid 10.
Nice.
And like you, I loved Dream or Morpheus, but yeah, my favorite character aside from Patton Oswalt and the
Yes,
Raven,
as the crow. Yeah,
yeah,
the Raven.
as the crow.
The Raven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Raven's probably
favorite
better.
also was Death. She was phenomenal in this series.
Yeah.
Raven was terrific in this. I really liked him too.
His witty comments are hilarious.
Oh,
It's so Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
So
His name was Matthew.
Matthew, that's it. Yeah.
That's his name, Matthew. Yes. Thank you, Megan. Thank you. All right. Well, I give it a 1 out.
Stop.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Stop.
kidding. So if you asked me how many episodes I actually made it all the way through without Steven skipping, there are several. So, which is good. There was one episode that I just Steven skipped through the whole thing. I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. I thought I would. I tried to get into it. We'll get to that in a minute. But I will say by the end of it, the last few episodes, there were no Steven skips whatsoever. I really, really enjoyed it. By the time it was all said and done, I enjoyed it. So, barring that, my score is probably incomplete in the aspect there are some parts that I Steven skipped, to be fair.
If you Steven skipped any of episode 6, I'm hopping a plane and I'm going and smacking you.
That's the one with Death, right?
Yes, that's the one with Death.
Oh no, I watched the whole thing.
Okay, good. I don't have to hop a plane.
I
over there and smack you.
I do agree with both of you that I think the character Death was fabulous. The mythos around and changing the mindset of how we view death.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Was just phenomenal. And that in itself gave some points back. You know how you get the cinema sins, sometimes they give points back. I'd give points back. So I would definitely say I have no problems giving it a good solid 8 out of 10 Sands of Time.
So you and I are right on the same page then.
Right.
Same page.
Six page.
Look, we're dads. We got to get in dad jokes. Sorry.
Dad jokes. I'll drink to that. Much more better.
Much more better. By the way, I'm drinking. What did I say this was, Megan? Dunkin' Donuts. Polar peppermint coffee today. We are not sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts, but this is some good coffee. It's like Christmas in your cup. Amazing.
Anything else you got spiked in there?
I forgot, man. I was gonna put. Dang it. I was gonna put some Irish cream, and I forgot, man. Forgot my favorite. Oh, well. All right, maybe next time.
Okay, so here's the dealio. So
I don't have tequila in it, though. Just
saying. Angie, you got your answer.
No, I'm not gonna put tequila in it. That'd be nasty.
Okay, what? We've already alluded to it, I think, but favorite episode and why?
Oh, well, I already told my favorite episode. That's episode 6. That's I don't remember what the title of that episode was.
So real quick, I didn't do this at the beginning. I'm sorry, everybody. Real quick, the premise of the story is you have Dream, Morpheus, also known, or the Sandman. So it's got 3 names in the show.
By the way, calling him Morpheus gives me anxiety because all I can think of is Morbius.
Morbius. You think Morbius. I go to the Matrix. My brain goes to the Matrix.
Yeah, but when I hear Morpheus, all I can hear is Morbius. And I just immediately go to Marvel, which I like the Morbius character too. And it's like, it gives me anxiety. Stop. Just let's call him Death. Or, I mean, not Death. Let's call him Dream.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying the premise is he is the ruler of the dream world when you dream. So both good dreams and nightmares are all fall under his quote unquote realm. The beginning of the series is he gets captured. He's captured for 100 years. and he breaks free, and now he's coming back to see his realm has just crumbled and faded, and it's time for him to rebuild it. And then there's this whole story about him getting the things he needs. So there is kind of the theme of, getting these MacGuffins, these 3 MacGuffins. That's part of the series. He gets them. He comes back into his realm or gets back to his power. But then you realize there's an underlying mischievous story going on underneath at the same time. And then you find out that part of that is because of what they call a vortex, a dream vortex, and then that story. So it's kind of like 3 stories flowing into one. It is actually kind of masterful. By the time I got to the end of it, I realized that the beginning did not hook me at all. Like Sage,
really? See, I was hooked from minute 1 of this.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was intriguing, but I was just like, okay. But then it started picking up.
But I think you're right. I think this is you have to peel this like an onion. There's layers.
It is.
Yeah.
It
is masterfully done. Neil Gaiman has done a fantastic job on this story.
He has, and so it's one of those where you get when you see the whole picture. So if you haven't made it through Netflix or through the Netflix series, I want to encourage you to go watch the whole thing, because by the time you get to the end, you will then see all the threads of how they come back together. If that
did
makes
everyone
sense.
watch the bonus episode by any chance?
I did.
Did you?
That's what I was. As soon as it was the first time I watched, and I was like, "Wait, what is this? This is interesting. What is going on?" And I was hooked. That's actually what hooked me into it.
So you watched the bonus episode before you watched the series?
Yeah, with the cats and everything. Yeah, I watched it first. I'm like, okay, this is really cool. I like this concept. I like the, to dream bigger than what we are. And then when episode 1 came, and I'm like, wait, these are people. What's going on? And then it gave me a whole nother element. I'm like, oh, this is awesome, because it took me completely to where I wasn't thinking. So I love it. I love it.
I watched the entire series, and then I watched the bonus episode. My first reaction was, what is going on here? And then as I watched the story, well, it just strengthened my theory that cats are evil, actually.
I will agree to that. Yeah.
Which my wife and my daughter hate when I say that, but I have this belief that cats are evil, and dogs are obedient and they love their masters, where cats want to rule. They want to be the masters. When you come home, a dog is excited to see you. You come home to a cat, and the cat's like, "Where the hell you been all day? Give me my food. What's wrong with you?" Anyway, I just wanted to say
that. Okay, so favorite episodes, everybody. Number 6. Let's talk about it.
Number 6 by far is my favorite episode. It has Death in it. Death is absolutely my favorite character from this series. I want more of Death. She was incredible. I liked what you said earlier about how or I think you said it, Sage, how, I don't know, one of you two said it, how she kind of the character kind of redefined the way we look at death. Yeah. And that's something I was telling my wife because she didn't watch the series. She didn't think she could get into it because she thought it was too dark for her, which is fine. But I told her, I said, "Oh no, you gotta at least watch this one episode." And I played it to her last night. She's like, "I like that character. I thought they did that character really good." I loved how Death was compassionate, caring, warm. You know, it was totally different from anything we'd ever interpret Death before. And I am so on board for this character. I thought she was fantastic.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like everyone who thinks of Death is like, "Oh my God, this is, devastation," but it was a comforting friend that you didn't even know you had or needed. And just the transition of, with the one character, with the car, getting hit by the car and everything.
Yep.
She's like, "Hey, let me talk to you for a minute." And just the soothing aspect of it and her approach to her, her position.
Her role. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How she's like, "I was there with the first and I'll be there when the last is done." and I can put the chairs up and call it a day. Like I love that. That is just a beautiful, beautiful aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I loved her with the old man too, when he's playing the violin and everything. And go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was going to say I found something funny. I don't know, the character that played John Dee. I just found it hilarious. Played Professor Lupin in Harry Potter. He passed away, and then the next episode, Death Greets Harry. Harry passes away. So Professor and Harry passes away. I thought that was hilarious in the show.
That's a good connection there.
So
no, I like that. No, I really liked her coming in and consoling him. And then he was like, "Can I say one thing before we leave?" And she's like, "Yes, of course." And and he says the Jewish prayer and everything. And I thought that was an incredible scene. Very moving. Yeah. Very moving.
I actually cried a little on the one part when the gentleman drowns in the water.
Oh,
and he's like, well, can I at least let her know? Can I? And she's like, I'm sorry, but it doesn't really work that way. Right. I like how she still comforted him, but hey, I've got a job to do. We've got to go. So it was a very beautiful moment. But yeah, I really love that episode. That's definitely my favorite.
It is by far the best episode. I think not because you begin to see not only this redefining what many people would think of death, or the being afraid of death, and how there's bringing in this comfort of death, but it also brought in the beginning of Morpheus' dream. Sorry, let me say dream.
No, that's fine.
The changing of his character, because it is a pivotal moment within the series, because the first half he's getting his tools or whatever, his mask, the sand, the gym thing, and then he's like, I'm aimless. What am I supposed to do? I've got no real purpose. And I thought, well, that's weird. You already stated your purpose way back in episode 2. I'm going to rebuild. So I thought that was kind of weird, but the way the storytelling went, it was the beginning of not really about purpose for him, but it was about changing how he viewed things, because that was the power of that last episode. Or episode 10, excuse me, not the bonus, but episode 10 was who he used to be before the 100-year imprisonment, and now who he is changing and who he is becoming as a character. Episode 6 was the pivotal moment of that change because of the interaction with death. Yep. And it was just fabulous. Plus, she challenged him. Death challenged Dream with a great character who I love this part of the story.
So this is almost like there's almost like 2 plot lines going in this storyline,
right?
Because you've got the whole death aspect of it going on, and we're learning how death interacts with humans and so on and so forth, and then he's learning from her, but at the same time we have this second storyline, which is kind of this whole aspect of us as humans, and how, I loved it how he hears him say, I would love to live forever, and Death's whole thing is, within a century he'd change his mind on saying that.
Was that Dream? I think Dream said that.
Dream said that.
Right.
Dream said that.
Right. Dream said that. Dream said that. And but I think most of us would agree with that, actually. I think most of us wouldn't want to actually live beyond a century or something.
What's the song? Who wants to live forever? Sorry.
Cool.
I used to watch Highlander.
I loved this, this storyline of, following this guy through his life and seeing how he's changed after they give him the gift of living forever, And,
Sage, what were you going to say something?
Well, no, I was going on to that. I think this whole concept, especially the death episode, is breaking away from giving into inevitability. I think that's the whole concept of it.
Good.
Dream's whole concept is, these humans need me. Without me, but in reality, he knows that he's endless. He knows that he, whatever. But once he started to break down, thanks to death, of let me get in touch with who they are. Let me find out more about them. Then that finds out more about myself and the companionship that I know I need, given the fact that I'm inevitably outliving them all. I'm going to be alone. They aren't. Nice. And I think that's the beautiful concept that death brought is, I know my job. I'm going to be here forever. Let me be here for these people who don't know what's going on.
Right.
And that just, and in that episode where where Dream hears the guy saying, I want to live forever, it's intriguing because he's like, oh, he's just saying that. But then when he actually sees there's another person who wants to continue, I thought that was beautiful because that gave, Dream the companionship that he honestly needed to change, to get back to the fact that he's had the power all this time, but now he has the companionship that he desperately seeks for.
Well, and I loved when it's Hob, right? That's the character.
Yes.
Name.
Yeah.
Hob Gadling.
Hob Gadling. I love it how we see like the first couple centuries of Hob. He's actually well off. He's doing really well for the first couple centuries. Mm-hmm. And then like the third century, he comes in, he's destitute. He's lost everything. And Death is like, you kind of see that smirk going, here it is. This is Dream. Where Dream's like, he's going to be begging for death at this point. And then he's like, so you're saying you don't want to live forever anymore? And he's like, are you kidding me? What's wrong with you? So yeah, even though he lost everything, he still wants to continue. He does not want to die. He even talks about how horrible it is starving to death and not being able to die. And I would have never thought of that until then. It's like, oh my gosh, yeah, that would be horrible. I couldn't even imagine how bad that would be. But when he said it, it's like, oh yeah. And it's that moment you're thinking, yeah, he's going to be begging for death at this point. And then no, he wants to continue living. I thought it was great. I loved it. It was a genius episode. It really was. By far.
Yeah, by far the best. Now, I will say.
And I rewatched it last night, by the way.
Oh, did you? Good choice. The one before that, episode 5, was the one I actually hated, and I Steven skipped most of it. The diner scene.
Oh yeah.
It was. I was just like, where are we going? I mean, I understand you, but I don't need your motivations. I don't need your, kind of what your viewpoint is, and you want to give people what they want, but then you don't. But then, I'm just like, nah, move along. We're moving.
I think that was more of building up the serial killers, which, by the way, that was pretty ingenious. The serial convention. That was well hidden, and I really enjoyed that.
Yes.
I think that episode was just to build up the serial killers. But
okay, fair enough. Okay.
I like you, I didn't care for it. I was like, and I kept watching it because I'm, expecting some big reveal, something, and it just didn't really come with that episode. So I don't know. I think that's the one episode that probably could have just.
It was almost, for me, it was filler.
Yeah,
because it was filler just to get to the end where Dream, connects, or he's like, you have something I need, or whatever. You have the third piece, or of his, you got the ruby, or I am the ruby, or whatever, and so I just like, yeah, move it along, kind of a thing.
Steven skip.
I did. I skipped a lot of it. I do 15 seconds. Yep, another 15. Another 15.
I have a second favorite episode, and that would be with the boy.
Okay.
Rose's brother. What was his name? Was it Jed? I think it's Jed.
Yes, it's Jed.
Jed. The episode where they kind of introduce Jed, and you see what he's going through with. He calls him aunt and uncle, but I don't know if they're really his aunt and uncle.
No, they're foster parents.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. They were foster parents. Yeah, because he had the worker come and he slips the note into her purse and all that good stuff. it's been a couple weeks since I watched it, so
he calls them aunt and uncle because they were friends with his dad.
Right. That's right. But I loved his escape, and when we see him as quote unquote the Sandman, which I just recently found this out. I didn't know this, but that was a callback to the original version of the Sandman that Neil Gaiman took over in DC Comics. And he actually had a red and yellow costume. Here, let's see if I can.
Oh, interesting.
I'm trying to figure how do I screen share, Stephen?
Okay,
I see it.
Under present down at the bottom. It's an option.
Share screen.
Oh, here we go. We're learning on the fly, everybody.
So yeah, this is what the original Sandman. Now there is also another Sandman in the DC universe that's actually in the Justice Society of America. That's the Sandman I knew of, and he wears like a gas mask, and he's he does things with chemicals and so on and so forth. But this Sandman is a little bit more like what we see in Neil Gaiman's character. But when Neil Gaiman was offered this by DC Comics, Neil said, I want to reinvent it, and came up with it. So Jed's costume is kind of paying homage to this original Sandman. Homage. Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool. Okay, now I got to figure out how to get it out of here.
You just go down and there's there you go. You got
how to use this. Okay.
That's okay. I'm actually loving StreamYard. Yes.
So yeah, I would give that as a honorable mention for like a second favorite episode.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that episode, and I liked the kid. He was a lot of fun. It's a very good episode. A lot of fun to watch.
That's episode 8, and it's titled Plain House. And episode 6 is The Sound of Her Wings.
Thank you, Megan.
Yep. Also, if you're into the comics, by the way, The Sound of Her Wings is adapted from Sandman number 8 and number 13.
Cool.
I'm cheating. I have the Wikipedia thing up just so cheating,
I could. And I have to say, I never read The Sandman. After I watched the first couple episodes, I did go back on the DC app, and I read a little bit of the first issue of Neil Gaiman's, because he wrote the comic. Also, he wrote the comic, and he wrote the stories for television.
Is it pretty close?
It's pretty darn close. I was amazed, actually. I'm like, wow. But I guess that's what you get when you get the creator come in both the comic book and the television series. So
yeah. Sage, did you have any other favorite episodes?
I loved when Dream went to confront when he went to hell. I loved that.
Episode 4, that was another one of mine. Yes.
Yeah. And the concept of a single spark can make a huge difference in terms of, persevering or failing, just that single spark of hope. I love that concept down there. Yes. It was very beautiful. And to overpower, Lucifer Morningstar with that concept, beautiful. I loved it.
The game that they played back and forth and then him winning with hope was just, it was so fascinating. I'm like, who thought this game up? Neil Gaiman. It is great. Right. I was just like, this is, I agree with you, Sage. I just really, really enjoyed that part of that episode. It was intriguing. And I was like, when it was only one episode with Lucifer Morningstar, I was like, oh, you got such a great actress playing this character. And I was like, oh, this is it? This is all we get? Oh, well, that's okay. It was good. I like that episode a lot. I love that game and stuff. And then when we see at the very end of the season, you're like, oh, it's just set up. This is going to be good. So, yeah.
So we have to address the elephant in the room, though.
Uh-oh.
How do we feel? Now, I know Stephen and I are both big Constantine fans. I don't know how you feel about Constantine, but we are huge Constantine fans. So how do we all feel about Constantine?
I it was so weird changing the name, but was still, how shall I say, it was intriguing. It's not the same character. So those who think it's like the Keanu Reeves Constantine or the Constantine from the animated film, DC animated films, or the TV show with Matt Ryan, who is
Constantine?
Who's hashtag that's my Constantine.
That's right. That's right. It's almost like Kevin Conroy is Batman.
The voice of
Matt
Batman,
Ryan is Constantine.
Yeah. So if I went into it at first, I was kind of like, well, this is not the same. I was like, oh man, but realizing that, okay, here's some of the mythos. We're changing some things. The character, she was still ornery about,
That's true.
That Constantine style. She was still kind of no holds barred kind of a thing. Say it like it is. I don't have patience for this kind of a thing. So I was like, okay, there's some carryovers. It was okay. It was okay. That's what I'll say.
Okay. Sage.
The first 2 times I heard it, I got annoyed. Not even gonna lie to you.
Oh wow.
I agree.
I got annoyed. But then once I accepted that this is a different character, it's a different, I was okay with it. But yeah, the first 2 times I was like, no, that's not how we say it. No.
Right.
So,
yeah, the name, it bothers me a little bit. But I get it because, he's gender swapping the character. I think
which is fine. Help. That's no big deal for me.
I mean, he did that with Lucifer too,
right?
Yeah.
He did.
And from what I was hearing, the reason he did that was because he didn't want those characters to be confused with the Lucifer of the WB and Constantine of the WB and so on and so forth. Also, because it is a different universe. But Constantine is part of the Vertigo comic book series. The John Constantine actually is.
John Constantine is, yeah.
I think for me, the saving grace is I'm a Doctor Who fan. So I'm a fan of Jenna Coleman. I like her. I loved her in Doctor Who. I thought she was great. So that
Souffle Girl.
What?
Souffle Girl.
Souffle Girl. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. But yeah, I think that helped me get over the hump a little bit. That okay. She's not hashtag my Constantine.
Right.
Constantine.
That is not my Constantine.
Yeah. Can you say stuff?
Yes. Hi, Megan.
Hi.
You got to come in.
Why don't you come in?
Let me be
there you
disembodied voice.
Sage, this is Megan, by the way.
Hello.
Yeah. I absolutely adored the series. As far as the changing Constantine and Lucifer, I prefer Jenna Coleman. Not
okay.
in the sense of
you
in the
prefer
sense,
Jenna Coleman?
Let me explain what
Excuse me, I'm gonna have to remove her now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. I'm teasing.
She can still talk because she's connected to my mic.
Right.
I meant in the sense of between Constantine and Lucifer in the show, in the Sandman show, I prefer Jenna Coleman. I prefer Constantine. I don't particularly like that version of Lucifer, but I have an attachment to Tom Ellis and his version of Lucifer.
Oh, sure.
So I wish it would have been him, but it would have been a very different character, and it would not have went the way that it did.
I don't think this is going to go the way you think it's.
Because I still haven't finished watching Lucifer, but I need to. But I love the show Lucifer, and Tom Ellis is a fantastic actor. I love him, and I love his character. I love his character of Lucifer, but don't know. It's hard to explain how he is, but yeah. If it was him, is Dream and Lucifer related?
I don't think so. I don't think.
I understand.
No, are you talking about in the Sandman universe?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so, because it's Dream, it's Desire, it's
Despair,
yeah.
Death. I can't think who else.
Despair.
There's 7 of them, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's 7.
But I think
but
Lucifer
is not one of them. He's not in the family, quote unquote.
Okay.
Or well, I said he. In this case, it's she.
I know what you meant.
Anyway,
it was still would have been. I feel like if we would have had Tom Ellis as Lucifer in that, if we would have had like his character from the show Lucifer, it would have went a lot differently.
Now that you say that, it kind of makes me feel even better that Matt Ryan wasn't in this, because I think Matt Ryan would have taken over.
Yeah.
You know how they say actors get on screen and they chew up the scenery? That's the way Matt Ryan is. Yeah, and I think he would have taken over. And Jenna Coleman is a very good a supporting actress.
Yeah.
So maybe this was, maybe Neil Gaiman is smarter than we give him credit for.
Well, when introducing the character of Death, it was mentioned, Dream said, she was the most beautiful of all of the creations, and then the fall. I think the portrayal of, in this case, being the woman, and just the elegance and the poise that she was showing, even being down there, like, I don't know, I think it fit her more than if the guy would have played it. Not saying a guy can't be beautiful, but at the same time, like, I think just the way that she conducted and carried in her walk, and just the, even in her current look, she was still very beautiful, very classy, elegant, and
makes sense.
So I think that might have been why the direction. I don't know, but I liked it fitting that knowledge prior.
Because the Constantine we know is very rough and rough looking.
Yeah. Right.
But that's him. That's his character.
Real quick, I want to go back to the family members. So they're called the Endless. So, and then there's Destiny, which I don't know if we met in.
I don't think so.
In the series.
I don't think we've met.
We met Death.
Before.
So there's Death, Dream, Destruction, which I don't think we met in this. This season. Desire, and Despair, which are the twins, kind of a thing. And then the last one is Delirium, also once known as Delight.
That one was mentioned.
Yeah.
Because I think Desire mentions Delight.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, so those are the 7. Sage, you were right. There were 7 members. So
nice.
And that.
Last thing I wanted to say though,
yes.
As far as like talking about favorites, my second favorite, maybe tied with the 6th episode, was the second half of the special episode, the Calliope section.
Agreed. Yes.
I loved the story.
I love the Calliope story. Yes.
And that ties into my Greek, my love for Greek mythology too.
Right on.
And it has Rory.
It has who?
Rory
from Doctor Who.
Another Doctor Who character.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
It's a Doctor Who thing. You wouldn't understand.
And David Tennant was in it too. Not because David Tennant was the voice of the Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about with
that.
With the cats.
Yeah, he was. I forgot all about that.
I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. Interesting.
And David Tennant's amazing. I love David Tennant. So
Yep. All right. Well, all right. We are wrapping up because it is 1 hour and 19 minutes in.
Can't Can I say one thing?
Absolutely, you bet. Go for it.
The character, I forget his name in it, but the one that Morpheus was chasing initially, which caused him to be captured.
Corinthian.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we forgot to bring up the Corinthian.
I love when he finally took off his glasses and you seen the teeth, the hunger in his eyes. Yeah. I love how they portrayed that. That was beautiful.
That was a great insight. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Well, yes. Agreed.
Corinthian is a great adversary in this.
Yes.
He's
very
like,
much so.
I'll be open with you. He's like one of my top 10 villains now.
Oh, he's something else, man.
He was fantastic. And Boyd Holbrook was the actor. He did a fantastic job.
He was incredible.
He was
oh my god. Yeah, very creepy. Very creepy. Oh my gosh. I think everybody that was acted in this series is just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent casting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Neil Gaiman is he's a genius, man.
Mm-hmm.
He really is.
Yeah, let me real quick with Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman, English writer. Let's look at he has written so Coraline. Is Neil Gaiman. American Gods.
And you talk about creepy. Coraline is creepy.
Yeah. Good Omens, that series on Amazon is Neil Gaiman. Stardust. I think I said it wrong earlier. Stardust is the old book the old movie that I was with Charlie Cox. Stardust. I can't remember if I said that right. He wrote the Graveyard Book. His book on Norse mythology is actually really good. I've got it on audiobook.
The Graveyard Book is a great book too.
Is it? I have not read it. Neverwhere is another one. The Watchmen, the 2019 edition. I think he did some storytelling for that. He did do some of the Eternals. Marvel's Eternals is Neil Gaiman. Sandman, we've already talked about. Fragile Things, Snow Glass Apples. I mean, there's those I'm not familiar with, but like Coraline. He did do some Batman. Whatever Happened to the Cape Crusader is Neil Gaiman.
Yes.
So he has just a lot of stuff with
Whatever Happened to the Crusader. Is that the episode where each one of them are telling a story of Batman?
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head.
I think that's what that is, if I remember. Man, I might have to go back and rewatch that one.
Yeah.
I'm all up for rewatching pretty much any Batman. Well, except for the two movies that we don't talk about. Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Right. So anyway,
the bane of my existence.
Yeah, I'm just saying Neil Gaiman is quite the prolific writer. He has done some really interesting storytelling and stuff. So yeah. Yep.
I never realized that the Graveyard Book was Neil Gaiman.
That's funny.
I think there's a lot of stuff people don't realize that was Neil Gaiman.
Probably.
You know. All right. Well, hey, Sage, any last thoughts? I want to give you the any great words of wisdom. I'm putting them on the spot, everybody. Sorry, I don't mean to make you nervous and all that.
No,
I'm just kidding.
You're good. I just want to say I thank you guys because it's nice. Like, I look forward to watching you guys every Saturday and all the other works that you guys do. It's nice to just find people who love this stuff and who just it's awesome. It's really, really awesome. And I thank you guys truly for providing this outlet for people and for allowing me to be here and sharing this moment. Like, I'm truly blessed. Thank you guys for everything.
Oh, we're blessed to have you. Thank you for that. That's very gracious. I want you to say, for those who may not have heard at the beginning and are still here, repeat your name and the importance of your name, the whole Sagepageomega.
Okay.
It's worth repeating.
So I'm all about positivity and growth on my channel, evolving daily, being better than your yesterday. So the best part of your today is the worst part of your tomorrow. And just growing from that aspect. So that's actually what my name stands for, Sagepageomega. The Sage part is seeking adventure, gaining experience, leveling, evolving, growing, so forth. And then the page part is just us leaving our mark on the world for future generations. So as we're leveling, as we're evolving, we're doing it as a blueprint. And that's honestly what it's about. It's just being our better versions. I mean, I know we struggle, but just being our better versions daily and just leveling up this journey. So
I love it. I love it.
Awesome. That's awesome. I had no idea that your name was actually a acronym. That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah, when I first created Sagepage, there's a board game called Talisman that my brothers got me into years ago. Over 10 years now. And that's actually where I came up with this concept from, because I love the whole just leveling, journeying, finding yourself, finding your purpose, your destined, quest. And I'm like, why not apply that to life? And what better way than to level up who you are? We all get stuck at that plateau, and it's like, why not go past it? Why not be more, And I've just been trying to do that ever since. So
it's really beautiful, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I do too.
Great having you with us. Great having you with us today, Sage. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you guys, truly.
and we'll have you back again. We need to talk games.
I'm down for it, guys. Just let me know.
Well, I probably won't be able to contribute much to that because I don't really play any games, but I will be glad to sit and listen.
Right on. All right. Well, with that, Mike, do you want to roll us out for the day?
Just a quick shout out to all of our Ko-fi supporters, including Sage. Sage is a big supporter of us. We appreciate it. Angie, Megan, they both help support us, and they are on the team. Sounds like Sage may be joining the team here. Yeah, our biggest supporters are on the team. That's great.
I love it.
No, but we do have some other great supporters out there. And I can't think of everybody off the top of my head. 3 Geeky Dads is up there. They support us. And a shout out to our friends over at Nerdery and Murdery. Another fantastic podcast. If you've never listened to Nerdery and Murdery, go check them out. They're great. 3 Geeky Dads is great. And probably one last shout out to our new sponsor, Audible. Thank you, Audible, for being a sponsor of 2 Geeks and a Microphone. We really appreciate you. Stephen may be doing a Stephen Pick of the Month, too.
Yes.
I'm putting him on the spot on the air.
That's right.
It's my way of saying, hey, Stephen, you got to do this.
Right? I love it.
All right.
All good.
So with that said, oh, man, I don't have a closing line. Oh, gosh, what's a good line from the show? Dang, I got nothing. All right, well, I guess just may the force be with you. Over and out. Thank you for joining us today on the 2 Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,